What's going on, guys? Coach Joe here at the Lions Den, and what I want to do with this video today was talk about how to increase your overhead press and specifically your strict press. So I'm going to go through a couple of first key tips, and then what I'm going to do is tell you my 5 most important and favorite exercises that you guys should be incorporating into your training and that have helped me for my overhead press. Before we even get into my favorite exercises, the biggest issue that I see often is hand placement on the bar. So we're gonna get into that before we even touch the exercises. So guys, I've made videos before on hand placement in terms of the press, the push press, and jerk variations. Now, in terms of the strict press, we want our hands to be more narrow than we would with any type of jerk. So for a jerk, I honestly would jerk from about this wide because it's a shorter distance and I can get it over my head faster. Now, for the overhead press, we want our hands in closer. My rule of thumb is actually taking my thumb, no pun intended, putting it on the knurling line, gives me a nice equal spacing, and that is where I like to put my hands. Now, this is all relative to your arm and body proportion, but I would say whenever you can take the bar out of this position and in your rack position, almost be able to stick your arms on your lats is where we want this bar to be. Now, we also don't want our elbows too far forward, and we don't want to put them too far back. Okay, so I'll show you what that looks like from the side. Another key tip when it comes to the overhead press is making sure that the barbell is put into the hard part of your palm or the heel of your palm. That should be stacked directly over your wrists and as well as your elbows. We do not want the bar to be pushed back above the palm line and into the knuckle line. That is going to have a bad bar path and it's not going to be the strongest pressing position possible. The last thing to add about the grip is going to be to squeeze that bar as tight as you possibly can throughout your press. As for the rest of your body while doing the overhead press, something that I like to take from Mark Rippetoe is to make sure that you're squeezing your butt and pushing your hips forward slightly. The knees do not bend at all, so it's not a push press, it still remains a strict press, but as you're pushing, you're getting your head through your shoulder blades and locking the bar out. Squeezing your butt will definitely make or break some of your lifts because that is good tension that's going to keep driving that bar straight up. Another small tip that has really helped either make or break my overhead press has been to breathe and brace properly. So whenever we're pressing, we want to make sure that we either get our air prior to doing the overhead press or we're going to breathe at the top as we come back down. Okay? We do not want to be breathing through the press. That could cause us to collapse or miss a lift, which you can see here. Come on, get your air. Head through. Good. So when it comes to accessory movements, what I used to do was just go in the gym and hit tons of different shoulder motions and exercises and just get that pump. However, that wasn't really actually making my overhead press stronger. What made my overhead press stronger was me figuring out my weak points and my sticky points in the lifts. So what I'm gonna do is go over those sticky points and then the exercise or assistant movements that I would use for each one of those. If you're somebody who gets stuck right at the rack position, close to your chin or from the shoulders to the chin level, what I would suggest for you, and I know this sounds crazy, is doing more incline dumbbell or barbell pressing on a bench, okay? So that's gonna help increase your upper pec strength as well as your shoulders and a little bit of your triceps. Now, if you're somebody who's getting stuck past that point, so maybe more towards your nose and up, I would say for there you have to really work on strengthening your triceps predominantly, even maybe your rear delts, your traps, and your shoulders just in general. Now, since we got all of that out of the way, I'm gonna go over my 5 top favorite exercises that have helped me personally with my issues and sticky points get the strongest overhead press possible. My first one on the list has to be the close grip bench press. I used to do tons of regular bench pressing. However, the more I've got into pressing, I've noticed that I need to strengthen my triceps. So I've been implementing a lot of close grip bench, but I've only noticed that my overhead press has gone up and has gotten me through those sticky points at the top of the press which has really helped. Number 2 on my list to help increase my tricep strength and my overall overhead press strength has definitely been skull crushers. So I love doing barbell skull crushers, and normally what I'll do is anywhere from 3 to 4 sets, and I'll do that from 8 to 12 reps depending on the goal that day and what I'm trying to accomplish. Number 3 on my list for building the overhead press undoubtedly has to be doing dips. Everybody should be doing dips somewhere in their routine, whether you're a strength sport athlete, a bodybuilder, getting involved with sports, whatever, you need to be doing dips. So I love doing dips, I love doing weighted dip variations, and I really think that that has helped over a long period of time just always help increase that overhead press. So make sure you guys are doing dips. So as you guys know, I have a background in Olympic weightlifting, and during that time, what was programmed in a lot of my routine was push pressing. So I really have to include push pressing into my top 5 exercises. And the reason is because when you do push presses, it's almost like having a barbell slingshot on for the shoulder press, meaning that you get that leg drive, which is going to allow you to work a lot heavier than your strict press, and it's gonna help over time build that raw strength. So I think everybody needs to be incorporating push pressing into their training, no doubt about it. All right guys, so my last exercise, which was also included a lot in my Olympic weightlifting programming, was any behind the neck pressing. So that could be a strict press, a push press, a jerk from behind the neck, which has really helped increase the muscles or the smaller muscles involved with the overhead press, such as the rear delts, the traps, the mid back. So if you start incorporating that in with your training, I can guarantee you that you're going to, 1, get more size in those muscle groups that we may neglect too much, and then 2, over time, increase your shoulder press. All right, like I said, guys, those were the exercises that have helped me over time increase my overhead strict press, but you can use them for increasing your push press, your jerk, whatever. You can get very creative with it. Hopefully you can take some of those, implement them into your training, and increase your overhead press or overhead press variation over time. As always, guys, if you have any questions on programming, feel free to email me. I love answering questions and helping you guys out as best as possible, or just comment below simply. I do write a lot of custom programs for clients all around the world. They seem to be doing pretty well. So if you have any programming questions, like I said, drop them below or email me, feel free. Also, something cool about t-shirts. If you guys didn't know, I train my 7-year-old grandma, and she's an absolute beast. She deadlifts, she presses, she squats, she does the whole jam. She's pushing sleds, and we call her Mad Dog Melba. So I was thinking about doing a limited quantity edition. You pretty much just have to email me or comment below with a shirt size. We're gonna put a bulldog on the front, and it's gonna say Mad Dog Melba with the Lions Den logo on the back. If you guys are interested in something like that, please email me, because like I said, they're gonna be very limited. I'm only gonna be sending them to people who are gonna buy them in their sizes. So get in touch with me about that. But until then, guys, keep being a lean, mean strength machine, training hard, all right, and killing it in life.